Hey guys, today is my blush, highlight, and contour slash bronzer collection. I do not know if this looks scarce to you or if it looks like more than you own, but whatever. We're just gonna get right into it. This is the Cream Shop Cheek Mate Queen palette. I got this at Ipsy for I think 20% off. Milani One Flowers of Love blush palette. I think this was like $15. And here we have my Milani Baked Blush in the one called Dulce Pink or Dolce Pink. For me, I feel like there usually is like a little blush brush that in here that I never use and whatever. But I feel like all of these baked blushes are like, for me they serve as like highlight purposes, but for the purpose of this collection it is considered a baked blush. So this is the Dulce Pink. This is the Rosa Romantica in the number 13 Rosa Romantica. They are very pretty to look at, however. And this one is the number 3 Berry Amod. This is Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush called Parte with like 3 A's for some reason. This is the Too Faced Peach My Cheeks in the shade Ginger Peach. This is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush with warm undertones in the shade W56 Subtle Stable. Again, they have a little mirror that no one uses, and this is where the blush brush is attached to. This is the Hot Mama Shadow and Blush, but I only use it as blush. This is the L'Oreal Cinematic Blush. Moving on to the blushes I forgot to include in the previous filming of the first version of this video. So here we have the Ciate Melted Light Dusk in blush shade that I received in a BoxyCharm, and the layout of it is gorgeous, if we're being honest. I did happen to use it. I did like it, so that's a nice one, nice addition. Moving on to the Cabana Shadow and Blush by The Bombs Cosmetics. You can see this one's used and abused, but not pan, because they have big pans. And here we have the blush bar from Benefit Cosmetics. Now, I need to get rid of this damn thing. So apparently out of the 5 shades here, only the Hula is the bronzer, which I knew originally, but apparently the Rockateur is a blush. So the California is, let's just read the back and let's be informed. The California is a sunny golden pink blush. The Dandelion, which is this one, is a baby pink brightening face powder. And then the Rockateur is a cheek powder blush. And then the Hula, which we went over, is a matte powder bronzer. And then the Gold Rush, I don't know why they have it out of order, is the warm golden nectar blush. So blush, face powder, blush, bronzer. Okay, I mean, people use Dandelion as a blush anyways. I don't know what kind of face powder, like, just say blush. So yeah, that is our blush bar. Now, I know these say baked blushes, however, I use these as highlighters because they work like highlighters. So here's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Baked Blush. in the shade 36251, Don't Flutter Yourself. Now I am going to swatch it because, like I said, these behave as like highlighters. I do not like shimmery blushes as highlighters, you know, as blushes. I like these as highlighters. It's similar how Milani's baked blushes work. I use them as highlighters instead of actual blushes. So, same thing here. So we have the Wet n Wild Color Icon Baked Blush in the shade 36252 Hummingbird Hype. Again, I'm going to swatch this one because it behaves like a glittery, goldy highlighter. And I do not like glittery cheeks, unlike Jaclyn Hill. But, you know, not my thing. Moving on to the Wander Beauty Trip for Two Blush and Bronzer Duo. This I received in a BoxyCharm in the shade Daiquiri, and the bronzer is too long. Speaking of bronzers, let's transition into bronzers. Okay, so here is a Too Faced Natural Lust Bronzer, Satin Dual Tone Bronzer. The emblem on the front is the same as inside the actual bronzer, which is pretty genius and gorgeous to look at. Here is the Fenty Beauty Matchstick Contour in the shade Mocha. Which is pretty much used, but I haven't used it in a while. I bought it in the trio set with the highlighter and contour stick, which is also right here. So, highlight, contour, and bronzer, which we'll look at later. Then this is the Pixi by Petra Multi-Balm Sheer Sculpt Contour Stick, Cream Stick. Moving on to the portion of bronzers that I forgot, and contour palettes. I have the Too Faced Sweetie Pie Radiant Matte Bronzer infused with peach and sweet fig cream. Yeah, and it looks like the inside of a peach cobbler, which is, again, Too Faced does it for me with packaging. Not so much of supporting the, I think Jared Blendino and his sister or whatever. Anyways, moving right along. This is just gorgeous, and it's actually a really good product. Here we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in the shade 749 A Dulce de Leche. Dulce de Leche. Why did I say dulce like English? Guys. In Spanish it's Dulce de Leche, but I said dulce anyways. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette. Contour. I don't know why they put contour on here twice. In the shade 749A Dulce de Leche. It's in my collection, and I should probably declutter it. Let me know if I should have a decluttering series. I'd only probably get rid of 3 items, but hey, it's still a declutter. Okay. Here we have the not so beloved brand owner, but sometimes she hits home run with the products. Let's not lie to ourselves. And I don't know why they all have holes in it. Can anybody tell me this? It's weird, you know? Nobody acts with that. Anyways, so here we have the holy grail of some people's, but now because she's like anti-vax, anti-Semitic, and anti-anything, it's a shame to put her on your on anyone's channel or any videos or any freaking, God forbid, you use an old product of Kat Von D's because you're trying to use it up, Sam, and everybody attacks you like it's like you're anti-Semitic yourself or anti-vax. Jesus. Anyways, let's get off that soapbox. You can tell I hammered into this product. Never touched any of her other highlighters. I feel like I'm gonna try to mix these two because this palette was expensive and I'm not wasting $50 and just throwing it in the trash already. I really supported her product. Anyways, here we have the Shade and Light contour palette. Moving on to the last and final one. I kept, this is the NYX highlight and contour palette. So I kept the original packaging because if you take it out, it's regular packaging. It's not that, it's less fancy, I guess. I feel like it's more fancy in the packaging. But anyways, here's the highlight and contour. Again, this is the only highlight here. Let's just say a contour palette. And now we have the Morphe highlight and contour palette, the High 5 8H. The shade I contour with is the Debutante. I think I mixed Donut and Fabulous at one point to see if I would get Debutante. It worked out the same. Transitions. Let's use this to transition into the highlighters, which is the rest of this. The items I did forget each have their own category, and I forgot each one in their categories. So here we have the Stila Glitter and Glow highlighter. If you can notice all the sparkles that I have. This is the shade Monarch, which don't remind me of the Monarch Butterfly, which I believe is like brown and orangish, but whatever. The Stila Glitter and Glow highlighter in the shade Painted Lady. Okay. So this right here is Monarch, and this right here is Painted Lady. If you ask me, which nobody did, this should be the shade of Monarch because it looks similar to Monarch. And this could be Painted Lady because it looks like a unicorn just spit up on my arm. So whatever. The rest of my collection is all highlighters. So let's start with the Cream Shop Halo Lovely Alpha highlighting palette. I think it's just so cute where like the shape of the look-in window is in the shape of a diamond, and they do the same thing with their blush where it's like a heart. I just think it's such a cute packaging idea, and I liked for like trios. So this is very similar to another highlighting palette that I have, which I'm going to show and then show again one more time, but it's very similar to the Too Faced Hyper Reflective highlighting palette with the shades of Vanilla, Strawberry, and Chocolate, just in a different configuration. So the vanilla, the strawberry, and the chocolate. Obviously the Too Faced are way more hyper reflective and glittery, but the shading is pretty similar. So yeah, this is the Cream Halo Lovely Alpha. Okay, moving on to the MAC Hyper Real Glow. I'll have the actual number of the palette. Now here we have the Huda Beauty Winter Highlight Palette, where it's like cream palette. Now here we have the Makeup Revolution London Ultra Cool Glow highlighting palette. Now here we have the Rose Highlighting Collection Bad Habit palette, which is supposed to be a dupe for the, I believe, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Galerio collection. I'm sorry if I'm murdering her name, but yeah. Another thing I want to say about the Bad Habit, it is discontinued and you can no longer buy this. We have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora Glow Kit palette. Here we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit palette. Here we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit palette. Here we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sunkissed Glow Kit palette. Here we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dream Glow Kit palette. Here we have the Bobbi Brown Highlighting Powder in the shade Afternoon Glow. Here we have the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil Highlighting Duo in the shade Sandcastle and Mint Mojito. I do want the yellow one, however, the Kilowatt yellow one. I don't know what the shade is, but I really want that one. We have another Fenty product that comes in the trio that I bought. It's the Shimmer Skin Stick Matchstick in the shade Trippin'. Here we have the Benefit Dandelion Twinkle Strobing and Highlighting Powder. Now here we have the Laura Geller New York Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in the shade Glided Honey. Which I think this, oh my god, it's just so beautiful. Okay. Here we have the Becca Pop Goes Glow Champagne Pop Face and Eyelight Palette. Me with their signature Champagne Pop. Okay. Here is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfect Liquid Highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop, which is the same shade from this one. So let's see, this is the Champagne Pop. Let's actually compare. So this is the Champagne Pop. And let me take a little bit of this. Obviously this is meant to go underneath your foundation, but I wanted to see if the shades were similar. Onto e.l.f. In the shade Apricot Glow. I got this for $2. I got this for $2 at like Kohl's, which is like an amazing deal. $2 for a great highlighter. Sign me up. So here we have the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade 250. Here we have another one, Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade 50 Molten Rose Gold. Moving on to Too Faced. This is the Too Faced Love Light Prismatic Highlight in the shade Ray of Light. Which packaging alone Too Faced has it sometimes. Same thing, Too Faced Love Light Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Blinded by the Light. This is the Too Faced Fancy Pink Diamond. I don't know why this thing is here. Like, it doesn't open anything. It's just there to annoy me. Like, oh, I hate it. However, this is beautiful diamond. A lot of people were complaining that there wasn't that much payoff. Here we have the Too Faced Sugar Peach Wet and Dry Face and Eye Palette. There's 2 shades of highlighters and 2 shades of blushes. Now, I don't know who uses orange highlights, but whatever. I feel like this is a highlighter. This can be used. I would use it as like a shimmer eye topper. This is a bronzer, and then this is a blush, in my personal non-expertise. Here we have the Jeffree Star Supreme Frost in the shade Wet Dream. Here we have the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in the shade Peach Goddess. Here we have Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in the shade Dark Horse. Now, some of you might say that, Liz, this is way too dark for you. You are absolutely correct. This is me going away to a friend. Here we have the Jeffree Star Cosmetics 24 Karat Skin Frost Pro Palette. And lastly, from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, we have the Northern Lights Supreme Frost Pro Palette. Here we have the well-known Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Gold Bar. Here we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade 322B Crown of My Canopy. Again, Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade 321B Precious Petals. Here we have the limited edition Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade 3621 White Raven. Okay. Here we have another limited edition from Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade 36220 Purple Ashes. And then, like the previous one, it also has like a skull indentation. Here we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Loose Highlighting Powder in the shade 397A You Glow Girl. Still brand new. I'll show you how it's supposed to look, the shade. Here we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Loose Highlighting Powder in the shade 396A I'm So Lit. Here we have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Loose Highlighting Powder in the shade 398A Hustle and Glow. It's a little bit darker than I'm used to. Now here are the last ones. Here are the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminators. This one is the shade Gleam, LIO2 Gleam. So and then this is in the shade Sunbeam. I'm trying to figure out which fingers to use at this point. So this is Gleam and this is Sunbeam. Now I use these to put on prior to my foundation. The final one is the MAC Strobe Cream in the shade Peach Light. So like I stated, I do put these on prior to my foundation, and I've used this one quite a bit. Okay. So this kind of just went away, almost went away. So it's right here. Looks quite invisible, but hey. So that concludes my entire highlighter, bronzer, contour, and blush collection.